1 year ago information about free energy, and from that time there were many people, a couple of people, some people, I don't remember them all, but asking about the additional information about the free energy, So just now I've been spending a 3-hour talk with one, I would say, technically advanced scientist here from Latvia. He does experiments, but he's not like a scientist, full job employed as a scientist. He's more like whatever, actually, an interesting person just like me, but who is more advanced into like person just like me, but more advanced in physical, theoretical, electronical, and experimental type. I'm more like of in a different way. So, but I have more experience about channeling, and have lots of information about channeling, and so the information that I want to share is that about the free energy device, which basically is a follow-up to another story which I had like a year ago on the free energy ideas. This is like an updated. So I met this guy, and we were talking about the free energy ideas, and he already said, yeah, he had tried a couple of them, many of them, frequency change, molecular change, the coils, the hydrogen, and so on and so on. And well, to me, seem they have failed. And one part of the group, they said there were dudes from Russia that came, and they spent lots of money investing into this field about these projects. But he said there was a failure, a follow-up failure to it, because he came to me, said that if you manipulate with frequencies, voltage, you can cheat on the energy counting. How it's been in your local home, you have a energy counter, electricity counter that measures how much electricity you use, and you can cheat on that. But what he said is basically the electronical device loses its measurements, and it has to do with wavelengths, frequencies, and so on and so on. So basically, it's not a free energy device. It's like you would say, in a way, cheating the electronical device. He said that basically what you need to do to prove whether this energy is free or not is basically you need to loop. You need to loop on that system. You need to loop it without any additional power source. Then you can say, yes, this is a free energy because it creates more than it consumes. But then I was talking about information that was coming through my channeling, and at the beginning it was difficult because he has a wide range of terminology, and I have a limited range of terminology, and therefore when I start talking about something, he wants to cut me off, saying this is something different that you are talking. But I am also talking about something different. It means that the terminology is the toughest part. So we spent like 3 hours of talk, and then I many times said about this unpolarized, unmeasured energy, and we went to like energy that is 7 to 10 hertz a second. And he said, well, it's nearly impossible to even measure this. Hertz per second, because it's a really long wavelength. It's really long. It's like, as he said, you need 30,000 kilometers of wiring. But it was a quick calculation, so it could drop up and down. But basically the idea is that you need a really long wire, like 30 kilometers of long wire, not including the resistance in the wire, and the wire has to be, you would say, thick also. Then you can like get the lower frequency points to match each other. It's basically, it gets polarized. After like 30 kilometers of movement, the energy founds back its starting point, So then you can say, yes, this is a polarized energy because it has a starting point. He said all basically the same as in the channeling, that all energies they have to be measurable to like get it going. Meaning that to count it, to measure it, you have a crossing point. Whether it's a AC, they have these gaps of crossing points, and DC, they have the impulses of crossing points. As a crossing point, then you can know, yeah, this is an energy impulse to measure this energy. He said, yeah, that's true. But I said, but the idea that from channeling was coming is that you need a lower frequency, lower hertz. And I understood that the way he measures hertz, the way he knows hertz, is something between wavelengths, but also wavelengths has their own hertz frequency. So basically, if it's a 7 hertz wavelength, 30,000 kilometers long wavelength, it's never solid wave, it's like wave, and depending on that wavelength frequency, inner frequency, which is the frequency like this, you can measure you don't measure the inner frequency, you measure just the wavelength. Like the wave starts here and it returns to its starting point here after 30,000 kilometers. But what he said is that the noise, you would say, inner frequency noise, they don't measure it. I said, but the noise is really important to like match a frequency, and the images were showing that basically when you hit a glass, like the glass starts, the wine glass starts making a noise like, and you start singing the same frequency and amplify it, the glass will explode. The glass will explode. So basically, you tone the glass on the outer energy resonance, or match the outer energy resonance to that glass tone, and it amplifies until the glass breaks apart and explodes. So the idea next is that I say to him, yes, but you need a lower frequency, because the lower frequency has the more and more power, more and more horsepower, no, more and more newtons, you would say, than the higher energy. All you need to do is filter out the lower energies. Then you resonate a magnetic field or something to this energy, and the earth energy, which vibrates at the low energy, can put you and amplify you, like, and amplify it to it, and this will like accelerate the energy, and you will pick up the energy. What I meant is that you need a resonance point to the earth energy, and basically this is as low as you can get. But then we were talking about but he said you cannot measure that energy because it's the wavelength is so long. You need millions of dollars in equipment to like measure it, because the 30,000 kilometers of wiring and so on. I said, yeah, but I don't think you need to measure it, because you already know that there is an opposite to that energy, like the opposite point of that energy somewhere in the cosmos, somewhere it is. All you need to do is pick up the wavelength, pick up at some point the wavelength, and when you pick it up, the energy at some point, it will just amplify you. So basically all you need to do is you just amplify or de-amplify to that wavelength, and it will start accelerating you. This is also what when I channeled one time technology about Tesla, he said that the coils, the higher frequency coils, really high frequency coils, the idea is that if energy is matching another energy, it starts receiving energy from the other source, just like radio stations. You match a frequency from that station and you start receiving impulses from the radio system that is casting that information. So the idea is that Earth, Sun, other dimensions, other non-visible dimensions, other dimensions on a frequency basis, they are casting this frequency no matter what you are doing, and the dimensions you don't know even up to. And also the earth energy, which is a long wavelength. they are really casting this energy and following this energy. All you need to do is pick up your antenna to that energy. And right now, that information that's additional coming, that energy has to be also accelerating. So basically, if the energies are matching, you will not receive any point. So basically, what you need to do, you need constantly slow down the energy for the Earth energy to accelerate it back, receiving the the kick. And this was really interesting. This is interesting. So basically, how you can slow down, how you can accelerate this is basically by just slowing down, adding a resistance. Basically, if you cause this energy in a rotational move, and add some kind of a load to it, it will start resting, but the Earth energy will pick it up. And what I understood from the Earth energy, it's unlimited. It's like unlimited. It doesn't have a resting point. The wavelength is so long, and in that wavelength it has so huge amount of energy going through it. So this is it about the information. And I have my head is like a little bit decalibrating to new understanding. So basically, I want to create something like this. I want to do something like this, and to share this, and also to try to make this. But I don't know if I will make this. So I would see how everything happens for it to make for itself. And also, I'm thinking that in Latvia, nearly everybody is talking about this channeling and so on. Not everybody, but many people. And I think I need to do more English and try to learn new words in English so that I can describe and explain better the stuff. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you are willing to experiment, or you have a scientific approach about the topic which I shared, and how can you make this, yeah, sure, share it, write me, share it to me. And the idea is that I want to because I have like informational understanding about how it works, but I have no terminological names how to describe it. How does it work? All I see is that frequencies, wavelengths, sometimes colors, pitch tone, sound tone, and many of those things. I don't know what they are. Speaking to an electrical person, at first he has like only ideas what I'm talking about, but I have the understanding in the pictures. When he starts saying to me, oh, this is something like this, and draws me a sketch, like, no, this is not this. This is something like, as I see it, like this. He said, oh yeah, that's wavelengths. Those are hertz, but these are wavelengths. Okay, but inner in those wavelengths, there are another. He said, oh yeah, that's something else. This is something else. This is this. I said, yeah, okay. Now we know what we are talking about. So basically, this gets a little bit complicated, but still, you need patience, and you don't need a critical scientist. Not like scientists. You don't have to be critical, because many times, many people would love to share you the most needed information to you, and it's for you the most needed information. All you need to do is let go of the mind, relax the mind, and relax the mind, and you allow the information to come to you, with your own understanding. And the words what others saying is only words that he can use to describe it in his own best way. So thank you for listening, and enjoy your time, enjoy your day.